Okay, now we're in business. Okay, hi everybody. I'm Lori Wald. I think you all know me, but in case there's anybody here who doesn't, I'm Lori Wald, and very happy to be sharing this mindfulness meditation half hour with you all. I've changed the format of this a little bit. If you haven't been here for a couple months, it's a webinar style, so there is no video of any of the participants, but I will invite you at the end around 4:30 if you want to unmute yourselves and put your video on. I'm happy to chat for a little bit, and we could all share how our practice is going, and that would be really nice. So welcome to Tuesdays with Lori. It's first Tuesday of every month. I do this for a half an hour, share meditation practice with you, and you share your meditation practice with me. And let me start with my definition of mindfulness. So mindfulness is an awareness of your present situation as it is, not as you prefer it to be, with some courage, with some creativity, and with some compassion. So the mindfulness meditation practice is so that we can have more mindful moments throughout our day, be more in the present, be more understanding of who we are and how we're getting through this life. By being aware of what is happening inside of us, which is pretty easy to ignore as we get on with our busy lives. It's pretty easy to be distracted and not really pay attention to what's happening right now. One of the things that we all affect each other very much. So I have this quote from Lisa Feldman Barrett, my favorite neuroscientist, up on the screen. Lisa says, "Research shows that we all can tweak one another's nervous systems quickly with mere words." So if you know me, you know I talk about nervous systems a lot. Our nervous system, that fight or flight or freeze, is really what controls so much of what's happening within us. And when we do this meditation practice, what it allows us to do is to settle our nervous system down. And to be aware of what's happening to it. But so often we say someone pushes our buttons, or we all affect each other. I affect you, you affect me. So if I get a phone call from one of my kids and they start out, "Hello, Mom," I immediately tense up and get ready for, what's the problem? What's going to happen? And I can feel it in my body. And it's just what happens. It's our factory settings. It's how we ready ourselves to prepare for whatever is coming up. So we all tweak each other's nervous systems through our thoughts and our actions. And you can think about even something really subtle like raising your eyebrows or holding someone's hand. Actually, our heartbeat starts to get in sync with each other. Your metabolism changes. Your digestive system changes, all just from these little things, holding someone's hand, getting a phone call that says, "Hey, I've been thinking about you." And I think we're all women on here, but even if we're not, we'll give if a guy watches this in the future, you remember when if you were living in a dormitory at college, right? And our menstrual periods would sync with each other. We were all going together, menstruating at the same time. It's so crazy how we are really all so connected to each other. So that makes it all the more important that we have this mindfulness practice, because not just so that we're aware when someone is tweaking our nervous system, but there's also that responsibility that goes from us to others, right? That we can really affect how someone else's day goes. We affect their nervous systems. I like this quote from Thich Nhat Hanh. He's a very famous Zen master who passed away recently. And you can see, read it with me, when the crowded Vietnamese refugee boats met with storms or pirates, if everyone panicked, all would be lost. But if even one person on the boat remained calm and centered, it was enough. It showed the way for everyone to survive. So if you just take a moment and think about that, it's quite amazing that not only, is anxiety contagious and transmissible, but so is calm. So I have this little tool called the window of tolerance. It's something not of my making, but something that I use, and it's a really great visual to help you identify where you're at in your nervous system. What is the state of your nervous system? So if you're in the top, the hyperarousal state, okay, that's signified by red here because it's high energy, you're hypervigilant, you're chaotic, you're running around, you got a lot of nervous energy, you can't sit still, you're just trying to get all sorts of stuff done. You're overwhelmed, you could be angry. The bottom of the scale is the hypoarousal. That's when you shut down. You just want to crawl under the covers of your bed and not emerge. Maybe you get constipated. Everything just slows down to a crawl. You don't want to do anything. But the middle is called the Goldilocks state, technical term. That's where you're open, you're grounded, you're flexible, and everything is just moving right along. So this is not to say that we're always in the Goldilocks state. Not at all. We're in one of these, we're transitioning between these places all the time. But I think the graphic is really helpful because you can really see where you're at. And as you go about your day, when you notice that your jaw is really tense, or maybe you have a stomach ache, or your heart is beating quickly, oh, I'm in hyperarousal. And there are things that you can do to help bring yourself down. Some really easy things. Just take a few breaths, mindful breaths, or even take a sip of water. The act of swallowing helps calm your nervous system down. So if you're in a heated meeting with someone, or you're on the phone, just and they're putting you on the spot and you really don't know where to go, take that sip of water. Not only does it give you a moment, a pause, but this act of swallowing will help you ground your nervous system a little bit. So, as we always do, we're going to take time to sit together and meditate. And I will do pretty much what I do every week, which is a breathing exercise, a body awareness scan, and then sitting in stillness, and I'll guide you through the meditation. So let's do mindful breathing. It's very simple. It's what I do almost every time. And it's just a matter of finding your breath and then counting your breath from 1 to 10, every inhale and every exhale to the count of 1, until you get to 10 or until you get distracted. So if you would sit in your comfortable yet dignified position and see if you could notice your body breathing. This is just a little bit different than noticing your breath. But notice your body, the rise and fall of your belly, the way your chest goes up and down. Or maybe you notice the breath of air, the whisper of air as it comes in your nostrils cool and it goes out warm. And for every inhale and exhale, count of 1 until you get to 10 or until you get distracted. And when you get distracted or you've lost it, just start again. No judgment of yourself, no recrimination. Or maybe you're able to get to 10 and you feel really proud of yourself. Right? We're always at one end of the spectrum or the other. Just notice your body as it breathes. And this time, when you get to 10, just come back to the screen and notice how you feel now. Are things a little bit different than they were before you started? So we all affect each other in every way, including when we sit in meditation together. We support each other in this practice, and you support me. So once again, I ask you to assume your comfortable yet dignified position. And you can find your breath again. And notice your body. Notice how it's supported by your chair, if you're sitting on a chair, which I encourage you to do. Is your back supported, your feet supported by the floor? If there's a part on your body that's in pain, your shoulder hurts, or your head, or your back, you can find those painful places very quickly with your mind's eye. They're screaming at you. It doesn't take much at all to find those places. The places on our body that are comfortable are much quieter and more subtle. So as you sit, notice your eyes. If they're open or if they're closed, just notice your eyes, your eyeballs. Notice the tiny muscles of your cheeks, your ears, and your jaw, a place where we hold so much tension. See if you can let your jaw relax and allow your tongue to relax. And just notice your tongue. Is it on the roof of your mouth? Not, just notice. Don't have to change anything. And notice your throat and each of your shoulders. And anything you've been carrying around on your shoulders, just let it roll off. Notice your arms, your hands, and the palms of your hands. Allow that to relax. Allow the palms of your hands to just be very present and relaxed. Notice the insides of your arms and your chest. Allow your entire chest cavity just be filled with light. Just let it be soft and warm and relaxed. Even your heart, that hard-working organ that pumps 2,000 gallons of blood a day. It's amazing what's going on in our bodies without us being aware. Just allow your heart to be soft and warm and relaxed. Let your belly relax. Notice the tops of your thighs and your knees and your shins and your feet. Feel the bottoms of your feet and your calves and your thighs and your seat where you've consented to sit. So sit and be relaxed. Now feel your spine, every vertebrae in your spine. Your spine is a perfect metaphor for everything we want in this life. Strong enough to hold you erect, flexible enough to let you bend. Notice your neck and see if you could let the muscles in the back of your neck relax, and the back of your skull relax, and the top of your skull, and even your thoughts that are always there. Just allow your thoughts to be a little bit softer. Now we'll sit together in stillness as we encourage ourselves to notice what we're feeling. And as you notice thoughts, that's okay. Meditation is not about getting rid of your thoughts. It's about developing a more constructive relationship with your thoughts. The thoughts don't have to be in charge all the time. So as you sit, you might want to focus on your breath, the one part of our nervous system that we can control. Breath is always, always with us. And as distractions come up, just acknowledge, just notice what it feels like to be distracted by a story or a sound. Maybe your stomach's grumbling, maybe you're hot, maybe you're cold. Just notice the distraction and then come back to your breath. Start again. And if you're noticing your breath, can you notice the pause between the exhale and the next inhale? And the way certain breaths are longer and certain are shorter. And if you've gotten swept away by a narrative, if you're spinning a story, Playing your top 10 hit list of thoughts, those thoughts that keep repeating themselves over and over again. Just acknowledge and notice and start again. And it's not because you're doing something wrong or you're a bad meditator. We get distracted because we're human. And that's why we practice. We practice sitting and we practice encouraging ourselves. It's okay. You're going to get it. Try again. I believe in you. Notice how you're feeling. Are you feeling peaceful and relaxed? Frustrated, restless, hungry, sleepy, tired, cold, warm? What does it feel like when you get distracted? Are you chastising yourself? Are you encouraging yourself? Can you just be neutral? Just like a big laboratory inside of you, noticing who you are. The more we can understand ourselves, the more we can understand others. And we keep changing, as does everyone else. Now, for the last minute, just stop trying. And that's all. Thank you for your practice. Thank you for practicing with me. And I invite you all to unmute yourselves and put your cameras on and say hello and let me know how that went for you and how your practice is going.